All right, so we got Vegan Gains asks FitXFearless for dating advice after his divorce. So I'm pretty familiar with Vegan Gains. He used to be one of the biggest bodybuilder vegans YouTubers. So there's a famous video about him, and it looks like things didn't work out for him. So let's see why.
How's it going, man?
Hey, good, thanks.
Where you
Yeah,
calling from?
Canada.
Okay. How can I help
Yeah,
you?
so
First mistake, he's Canadian.
I've had a interesting, I don't know what this, I have no idea what that was. Well, I've had an interesting few years. I got married when I think I was 23, 24. I was dating my wife for about a year before we got married, and we just recently decided to separate.
Hmm.
And I'm not hurt about it. You know, the relationship kind of ran its course. I
Mhm.
learned a lot from the whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of learned that people are the way they are. If you kind of notice, even with younger women, like there's this idea that you can kind of mold them into what you want to be. People
Mhm.
are the way they are, and women.
That's true. And the romantic relationship is where a lot of people realize that the most, but that's true in terms of all relationships, and that's why changing people one way or another with maturity, you realize that it's for the most part a futile effort. It hurts a lot more though when it's a romantic relationship because you invested a lot into it.
Kind of play these games where they'll act as though they have kind of interest in your type of hobbies and kind of act as though, oh yeah, I want to like, like ride bikes with you or something. I'm big into motorcycles. And then it turns out once you're married and once they realize like okay, things are locked in, they get very complacent, and I think that's part of why the relationship kind of failed.
Mhm.
It was kind of doomed from the beginning, and we just weren't kind of perfect for each other. And yeah, I think being in that kind of situation where you're married and there's a pretty good certainty that you can't just walk out. You know, if things aren't kind of going the way you want them to go, you can't say, I think we're going to part ways. I'm just going to date somebody else. And that kind of makes women complacent. And I've learned marriage is just a bad idea for men.
Well, so there's a few things that we can note here now. First of all, he's talking about how you can't, as a man, just walk out, and it kind of makes the woman complacent because she feels like she doesn't have to earn your attention anymore. But you, as a man, should be constantly improving to the point where you do have that option if it's necessary. I don't think that you should be looking to replace your wife necessarily, but you should always keep in mind that your wife may want to leave you. Your wife may get tired of you. She may get complacent. She may stop listening to you, and in that case, you're gonna have to adjust to that, and you're gonna have to be prepared for the day where it didn't work out, and she no longer is into you the way she used to be. And it looks like him talking about his story. He's in the classic case of a guy who invested everything, lost his shirt for it, and now you can just see it in his eyes right now. He's defeated. He gave everything for something. You should never give so much that you have nothing left for yourself in case that person leaves or something happens. So, classic case of guy losing his sense of self to save a relationship, and it ended up destroying the relationship anyways.
And my divorce definitely isn't going poorly. She's not like a terrible person or anything. It was an amicable breakup, so I don't have to pay like alimony. I haven't lost like half my money or anything. So things are going good. Um, uh, as far as life goes, I'm making good money, and I get to keep more of my money because I don't have to support my wife anymore. She's got her own place now.
Which is the one silver lining with it. I would say for any married guy, he's very lucky at the very least. So if you don't get taken out to the cleaners with the alimony child support thing, and all you did was just split up, bro, it's just a fresh start. You live and you learn. I'm not sure how old he is at this point, but it looks like he probably in his young 30s. So who knows if the vegan diet aged him a little bit more, but he's not in a terrible spot as we can see for now.
So, yeah, the only thing I kind of wanted to ask you about was like maybe some stuff on hair and some fashion tips, because two things I'm not great with is fashion. I think I look pretty good when I go out on my motorcycles because I am into like motorcycle fashion. Girls always, when I like pull up at a gas station or when I'm stopping at a restaurant or something, I get a lot of compliments from women saying, "Oh, your bike looks really nice," or "I really like your jacket." But I have no freaking idea, like, I don't know, normal people clothes. And I don't know if you could give me any advice on like hair. My thing here is like kind of.
Okay, I got you. But listen. Before we get to that, the looks max and stuff is surface level things that you can change, right? But we got to talk about the marriage because that's gonna play a huge role into your future relationships. So guys try to like gloss over that. So number one, I always tell guys, right? I say before she even becomes your girlfriend, you got to date her for 2 years. And then guys call me crazy.
I think
and then this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you should take your time getting to know women for sure, because it takes a long time for a woman to get to know you. And you know what? You will lose a lot of women doing that, but it's probably for the best. I think 2 years is a bit extreme. And especially once you have more experience, you can kind of see the red flags pretty quickly. You don't know all the details of why she's a head case or why she's insane. But once you've dealt with a few insane girls, you kind of see it. You see the writing on the wall immediately. A lot of very raunchy tattoos, staying out late, going potentially days to weeks without, messaging you or saying anything. So the red flags show up a lot sooner than 2 years. So I don't think it should take you 2 years, but the general idea is true. You should take a good amount of time to get to know somebody, especially if you're inexperienced, before you make any long-term commitments to them.
Sensible.
Yeah. So you were dating her for a year, and then you married her within the year.
Yeah, some of that had to do with it being a long distance relationship at the beginning.
Why
She
were
was
you in a
from
long
Belgium.
distance
I'm from
relationship?
Canada.
Why were you in a long distance relationship?
Well,
Yo, FitX with the his reactions are very they don't come off as masculine. I don't know what that is, but he's right though in saying the long distance relationship, that's an immediate red flag, bro. Your girl could have been getting piped the whole time you were gone, which is what happens the vast majority of long distance relationships. That girl's getting piped while she's talking to you.
I actually am diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder. So there's very few people that I'm genuinely interested in. If I were to do everything all over again, knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't have bothered, but I don't regret the relationship. I learned a lot. I grew a lot as a person. And I think some of the really good things that have happened to me were due to that particular relationship. So I don't regret anything, but yeah, knowing what I know now, unless like there's very, unusual circumstances, I definitely wouldn't, date a foreign woman again, just because like it's a huge hassle.
Gotcha. Okay, so don't get into long distance relationships.
Yeah.
Number one, date the woman for at least 2 years before you even make her your girlfriend, because you need to see who she really is as a person.
2 years. So do you mean like live-in girlfriend, or like what do you mean by that?
No, like she's my she has to be part of my rotation for 2 years for me to deem her girlfriend material.
Well, that's for you personally. Like again, I actually have diagnosed antisocial personality disorder. There are very few people I'm actually interested in. Like, I love sex, I love women, but dealing with these kind of annoying personalities.
Who said you had to know? I didn't say you had to deal with annoying personality.
Yeah, well, I mean, every guy, I'm sure his situation sounds a little more extreme by the way he's describing it, but every guy also gets kind of tired of dealing with the same thoughts, which is why, in our own way, we're all competing for a small amount of wifey material chicks too, you know, because these days, bro, every girl's got something, that some sort of baggage or something, some sort of major drawbacks, let's say. So, in the sense of his antisocial personality disorder, regardless of that, he should still be able to identify the red flags. And the 2 years rule, I don't necessarily agree with either, but let's see what else he has to say.
Even if
You do
you
to some
found it,
extent. You do to some extent.
okay, hold up.
Um,
You found one girl that you liked, right?
yeah.
You dealt with her for how many years?
We were married, I think it's been, yeah, I'm 33 now. I think we got married when I was 24. So it's been like 9 years.
Got you. So
Something
you
like
found
that.
one girl that you liked and you stuck with her for 9 years. I guarantee you, bro, there's more than one.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So
I
what I'm trying to say is you could have avoided all of this, whether you have personality disorder or not, being more patient with your dating life and picking the best woman. Not saying you got to go sleep around, not saying that you got to go date 50 girls. 1 or 2 girls, no more than 3, that you are consistently dating over a long period of time before you pick the one that you consider your girlfriend, because it saves you from all of this stuff. All I'm trying to do is
1 to 2
protect you.
years
Yes,
of like a casual thing. Because
but it's not.
I'm
Listen, hold up. It's not just, oh, she comes over and we fuck. No, we actually date. So your
okay.
rotation girls, you actually date. They're not girls that just come over and then no, you actually date them.
Right. I'm not particularly familiar with this concept, and
Gotcha.
I think I'm kind of unusual in the sense.
You can tell he's pretty logical and cerebral. I'm familiar with some of his content, so I kind of knew that going in, but maybe that's part of the reason why his divorce happened, is an overly logical person. When you're too logical and cerebral like that, it can somewhat scare women away. Not saying that he won't be able to get anything, but I would say that a guy like him just needs to roll the dice, bro. Just start experimenting again. Because if you didn't have a lot of experience before your initial marriage, and now all of a sudden you're back out, starting from scratch, you got to just fight through that personality disorder, even if so. I'm not sure what the implications are of that illness, so maybe I'm being insensitive, but the best way to find the woman that you're looking for is just get back out there, and you got to sift through some of the trash sometimes to find the diamond in the rough. And it may take him going on quite a few dates, like you said, having some options open. I think I agree with the concept of what FitXFearless is talking about for the most part. Is keep your options open. Get to know the women in your life on a deep level before you commit to them, because if they are showing red flags, it sometimes may take longer than you think, because women can hide who they are for quite some time. Especially if you don't have experience, you're not going to see it.
Because usually when I meet girls, the first thing on my mind isn't how will I like make them my girlfriend, get them into bed as quickly as possible. I actually have very low interest in people when I first meet them, and they kind of have to prove themselves to me that, they're relatively intelligent, they share similar interests, they're just kind of a cool, chill person, and like there's just chemistry there. And a lot of women actually want to make moves really quickly, at least compared to my standards. So they kind of want to get the relationship thing started pretty quickly, like by, second, third date or something. Like they really want, they want me. But for me, like that can take, 2, 3, 4 months for me to really feel comfortable enough with them where, okay, I know who they are. I know kind of where they're at mentally. And then like that's when the actual romantic interest starts to build. I don't know if that dating strategy, like dating, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 girls at once. I don't know, like, I don't know if that would really work for me, but I like that's a
Okay,
totally new
it
concept.
doesn't have to work for you. I just gave a suggestion. If you don't want to try it, then no problem. I would just say just be more mindful with the people that you plan on dating. Now let me see the hair. Take out the headphones. All right. So I would say
So,
you probably look better with more hair on your head,
yeah,
right? Just so you can have something you can style it with.
okay.
Um, in terms of fashion, you got to pick a style that works for you, but you got to have that formal look as well. Like,
Yeah, you gotta, with fashion, before he gives his take on it. My take on fashion is in the same way, you kind of have to look at a lot of different outfits to learn what may be suitable for you, because what may be suitable for me may make him look like a goofball. It's and a lot of learning about fashion is a lot of experimentation, trying different outfits, and it's kind of time consuming, and that's why a lot of guys don't do it, because that seems like a women thing to care about clothes. But it is a worthwhile ROI, I think, if you have really nice fashion, because women notice you a lot more, which he talked about with the motorcycle outfits, how they notice him a lot more. So the simplest thing about it now is there's YouTube videos on it, and Pinterest is a great resource too, to just look at a lot of different outfits. And fashion is about an expression of your style and your personality. So be aware of the person you're trying to convey, and then there's many different looks that may work for you based on that.
you should be able to put together a nice 3-piece suit, nice collared shirts, right? Nice dress pants, loafers, but you can also have that biker look, biker style too. That's part of it. It doesn't have to just be, oh, I'm a biker and that's the only thing that I got going for myself. I can switch it up based on the location, based on where I'm going, so I can look pretty decent.
Yeah, and if you can switch it up, that's even better, because when women see you, or even anybody sees you, and you have different looks that you can pull off, it's very attractive, because it makes you seem like you're multi-layered personality, like you're an interesting person, because you are able to pull off different looks. So, and anybody can do it. He said he's not the most fashionable guy, but like FitX was saying, if he rocks suits, if he rocks maybe some polos, or even stuff that's relatively casual, it's not that hard or expensive to put together. He could get everything he needs to get at Macy's on sale, and $500 to $1,000, and he'd have a completely new wardrobe and some crazy combinations.
All right.
Yeah, I have not gotten a suit since I was probably 16, 17, when I was doing photography.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been a while since I've actually owned any, suits
Okay.
or any real dress clothes.
I got you. So what
I
I'm gonna
might
do
look
for
into
you,
that.
what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna send you a link. I'm gonna put a link for you and everybody else in the chat. It's my fashion ebook, right? How to make yourself look attractive and use your looks, your fashion as status, right? It's called my 7 F-Boy frameworks. All right. I'm gonna put it in the chat and I gotta get going. Okay, bro?
Okay. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm Vegan Gains on YouTube. Not sure if you're familiar with me, but yeah, a lot of people are pointing that
Okay.
out in chat. So
Awesome, man.
I've watched you for a little while. Like, obviously, I have some disagreements with some of your stuff here and there, but I
Okay.
actually like your content, and I appreciate you actually encouraging men to, up their game, be more motivated and shit. So good work, dude.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Yes,
All right, take
sir.
care.
All right.
Good video, man. Good video.
It seems like just yesterday.
That was a good video. I would say that in general, we can all
How's it going,
agree
man?
that getting your style together has a massive ROI. And I agree with Vegan Gains. I'm not 100% on point with everything FitX says, but anybody trying to improve men, and give advice to men, I have a respect for. So I do respect FitX for that. Let's check a few of the comments. Vegan Gains is the last person I expected to see on this channel. Yeah, me too. Bro got married in a hoodie and sweatpants, and only now realized it was doomed from the start. Is that true? It's not realistic to date 3 girls at once for 2 years. No one does that, bruh. If a girl did that to me, I would feel like I was getting played and drop them right away. Usually agree with Fit, but he living in La La Land with that one. I mean, it's expensive too, though. That's the other thing. Is like it's expensive. It's time consuming. Very few women will wait years of time just in this limbo. And to be honest, it's really not fair to them. And that's what this guy's implying, is that it's not fair to the woman to make her wait years. But it does ensure that you're going to get a woman who's very much down for you. If a woman is willing to wait 2 years just to be fully locked in as the only one, then she's much more likely to be into you, genuinely, for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, whatever the case may be. Vegan Gains, bro's personality won't allow him to date unless he find his exact match. Yeah, he does seem like a social recluse, but at least he was willing to admit it. He said bro got married in hoodies, sweatpants. I want to see this real quick. Vegan Gains married. Okay, so his wife was decent. Okay, so there's nothing special here. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching another episode today. If you guys want any free help with your addictions, increasing your income, or losing weight, you can check out the link in the description. And I also will have a free ebook that I'm posting as well for looks maxing, for those of you guys who want to improve your looks. So I'll see you guys on the next episode. Appreciate you guys stopping by for this one.